Hey, this is Mike. Welcome to Atomics on a Friday. Thank you for checking out this demo. If you would like, subscribe and like to get more content in the future. And hopefully that font is big enough. We'll go bigger. But yeah, I'm just going to showcase kind of the next one here, which is the Service Create test harness. This one's under, 1543.003. And this one is a lot more detailed. I think it was Jonathan Johnson, who shared this one or put this one into the repo. And there's a lot going on. And a spot where I kind of like ended up at this morning was like, okay, how do I like actually use this thing? It's been a hot minute, but it starts with creating a new service, which is the New-ATHService. And the cool part, obviously, it's very detailed in all the parameters. As far as variations go, I thought this was really neat. It is built in. The default's your standard service create, drop in sc.exe, WMI, there's the registry, and then just standard Win32 APIs, which I think is really cool. As far as like defenders go, it allows for like digging through your data and like finding which ones did it. Like, where'd this thing come from? I always think like, how'd this pop here? I remember a thing that they would always drop on us at Red Canary was all these things don't just happen in a vacuum. It's like you can't just run an atomic test and expect us to detect it. It doesn't happen in a vacuum. I remember that so vividly. Paul knows. And then I mentioned our output. So we'll have some nice output here. Let me just run it. Let's just do it live. So first I'll just do the get help in a vacuum. Dumped everything that we were just looking at, all the parameters. And then here's your output example. I was geeking out on this earlier, so I got a lot of like messed up. I can't run these again basically because I already ran them. But I will add some changes to my notes, and then we can ship it again. Okay, cool. So I have a AtomicTest driver sitting on my desktop. Let's see if I can paste. And I'm just going to tell it to load up as a new one. Just pasted that. So we're going to use the Win32 own process service type. Attempt to start it using WMI variant, loading the Mimi driver, and I gave it a name, not here, not APT. So you run that, we'll get an output, and may error. Nope, we're good. It was successful. And so it didn't start, which is totally fine. But you do get these reg mods and that image path here for that service. And instead of like running 10 more of these, I wanted to at least show what I did earlier. We'll run it again. You'll see hopefully the new one here. Yep, not APT. So this is event code 7045. There was like, I was Googling because there is another one. It's in my notes here. It's 4697. And there's like full length blogs on the differences between the two. And I was like, wow, I didn't know the difference. I'll have to find it and share it, but it was kind of interesting. And I've always liked 7045. I thought it always did a decent job at like telling me what's up. But apparently the other one kind of does the same thing. So I guess it's like choose your new service install event log. And then in particular, if you want to look at the raw here, you got, everything you kind of wish for, the service name, the type, things like that. All of that's in here. And then flipping back, I'm just going to change it here, but you can see the path to it and that service name. And I always think like if you were collecting this across a fleet, you would look at 7045 or the other one and kind of like look for any new drivers being loaded or in particular kernel drivers, which is that other variation. And where's it at? Let me kill this one. I got a copy paster over here. Somewhere. Okay, I don't have it on hand. Oh yeah, there it is, service type. So this is the fun part, doing it live. You can cycle through these, obviously, with your tab completion. Here's your kernel driver. I'm just going to change the variant as well. C, and then we have to change the name because Windows doesn't like it when you have multiples named the same. Give it a display name. So if you were looking at it through a list, you might kind of be able to pick out which ones are good or bad. I always enjoy it. Like if you were doing a driver list and the service name is like a KB from like Microsoft, like a legit KB, those are my favorite. I think I've only ever seen like a red team or somebody, maybe an adversary named KB something, and it was like, yeah, we'll never
Hey,
catch that.
sometimes that's all it takes. You just got to get past tier 1 and close that ticket out.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Even though it failed, we still got that telemetry, and I'll refresh. I think I already have the sc.exe one here. So I can run that, and then for kicks, we have all of these in here too from earlier, but you'll see our KB being started because, yeah, it's easy. Kernel module, things like that. So it's neat, very neat, having it all in one place. And then when I was messing with it, my sysmon config is obviously like pretty wide open here. So as far as registry mods go, you can see kind of like that, what they call target object. This is that service being created in current control set under services. And then if it had any, I think it shows the value. Yeah, local system. I think if you click on the drop over here, you'll be able to see all the different value names that they create for a new service. So yeah, it's a lot of content.